Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. So this is now lesson number 21 from the Believer's Handbook for Seeking Knowledge, and we are still on the characteristics of a student of knowledge, and we're on the 15th characteristic, which is be serious. Believe it or not, it's actually, the chapter is called what? Be serious. Yes. And nobody watching this class would get that joke, would they? No. Something that happened before the class started. All right, so characteristic number 15, be serious. Because obviously, if anything that you want to achieve, you can't go about it. You know, you have to go about it in a very, very serious, determined, obsessive, passionate manner. You can't just go and talk about, I'm going to study Arabic. I'll study when I feel like it. I rest when I feel like it. And no, you're not going to, you'll achieve something. But it's not going to be anything to tell your grandchildren about, And you want like real achievement, you have to be totally serious and committed to whatever it is that you're doing. So, it said, most of the people we encounter today do not take their lives serious. And how do we know that people don't take their lives serious? How do we know this? Huh? Because the biggest thing is because they waste their lives on games and entertainment. Like right now, we're coming to the masjid, and I'm sitting here telling my son, I'm like, SubhanAllah, look at how empty the streets are today. And did you notice that? The streets are just empty. So I told him, I said, you know why the streets are empty? They're like, why? I said, because the college football season started and everybody's sitting at home watching football right now. Maybe cooking out, they're drinking, they're just all having fun, right? Just enjoying themselves watching college football. And again, that's what we said at the beginning of this. We said, don't have to worry about people being in the masjid. Why? Because everybody's going to be at home watching football. Nobody's coming to the masjid. Forget it. Just a handful of brothers that really want to learn their religion and practice their religion. They're going to show up. Everybody else is going to be sitting at home yelling at the TV for the next 4 or 5 hours. So, and that's it, because the people don't take their lives serious. They don't take their dunya serious. See, you have like 3 types of people, right? You have the people that take the deen really serious and they don't really care about the dunya. Then you have the people who take the dunya serious and they don't really care about the deen. A small percentage of their energy goes to the deen. And then you have those people that don't take either one serious. Not the deen, not the dunya. Which is the worst of these 3? Yeah, and the one that doesn't take either one of them serious. Because at least the guy that takes the dunya serious and he gets money, he kind of benefits mankind in some way. Because if he's starting businesses and because how are you successful in business? You're successful in business just like you're successful in dawah. Same thing. You fulfill a need. There's a need for knowledge. There's always going to be a need for a certain type of knowledge. And if you have that knowledge that the people need, then they're all going to what? They're going to come to you, right? And and as long as you're teaching correctly, that's how you're successful. Inshallah, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, obviously with ikhlas, with taqwa, with all the characteristics that you need to be successful, right? But you're fulfilling a need. There's nobody teaching. So you go and you teach. Business is like that, but it's off into the other direction, right? To the dunya. You're fulfilling a need. There's something that the people need, and you put it out on the market, and you fulfill that need, right? So you're actually benefiting the people somehow with your dunya. Dunyawi. Now, obviously, this has no benefit for you in the akhirah, but the people benefit from you. You open up a restaurant, and people eat from the restaurant, they benefit. You open up a supermarket, the people can buy food from the supermarket, they benefit, right? So, but now the person who neither is serious about the deen nor the dunya, he brings absolutely zero benefit to mankind. Zero. He's a 100% what? Taker. He doesn't give anything to mankind. All he does is what? Take. And this is what Ibn al-Qayyim referred to as a battal. A battal is like a person who just does nothing, no good comes about from him. No good in the dunya, no good in the deen. Now obviously the best of all of these people is what? The person who takes the deen seriously, and he's not really concerned about what comes to him from the dunya. Whatever comes, comes. As long as it's halal and Allah, Allah gave it to him through halal means, alhamdulillah, it's now, But other than that, he doesn't care. Why did I not mention a fourth person? Now, I did not mention a fourth person, which is the person who takes the deen and the dunya seriously. Why? Why did I not mention this person? Why did I not? Because this person doesn't exist. Why doesn't he exist? How many hearts do you have? Yeah, you only have one heart in your chest. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Ahzab, وَمَا جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لِرَجُلٍ مِّن قَلْبَيْنِ فِي جَوْفِهِ. Inshallah. Hamza's not here to correct me. And you guys don't help me out. So, مَا جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لِرَجُلٍ مِّن قَلْبَيْنِ فِي جَوْفِهِ. So he said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not put two hearts in the chest of a man. Which means what? That your heart if you have love for the dunya, then what decreases is your love for the akhirah. So if you have 100% love for the dunya, that means you have 100% no concern for the akhirah. If you have 70% love for the dunya, then that means you can only have a small percentage left to love the akhirah. So you can't give that the attention that it deserves. So you're always going to be fluctuating between the two. So either you love this and you just take, you give this its minimum rights, which is the dunya. You go out, you work, whatever. You get money to support your family. You get what you need. And you're done. And then you dedicate the rest of your time to what? To the deen. But if you're like this, okay, now I got what I need, but I want to get what I need for like the next 150 years. You know what I'm saying? I want to build this, and I want to have this, and I want to do this. Now, where is your attention for the akhirah going to be? It's not going to exist. You got one heart. Heart goes in one direction. You can't love obedience and disobedience. You can't love iman and kufr. So as long as these two things exist in the heart, and they will exist from time to time. I mean, people have love for disobedience in their heart, and they still have love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but there's like this what? Sometimes this overpowers this, and then sometimes this overpowers. So when the love for Allah and His deen and iman, when it overpowers, what happens? He's in the masjid, he's praying, he's reading Quran, he's doing the things that he's supposed to be doing, right? But then when that other thing, that love for that disobedience and the love for the dunya starts to overpower, what happens? He's not in the masjid anymore. He's out wasting his time. He's, that's it. He's not reading the Quran anymore. So there's not a time where you're going to be trying to talk about, and the people that will lie, this is the biggest deception of shaitan, where he gets the people to think I can balance between the two. No, there's no balance. This is your goal. This is your final destination. Is your final destination the dunya or the akhirah? What's your final destination? And that's what you're going to work for. Everything else is just going to be secondary. You just give it its rights. Yeah, I mean, dunya, you can't neglect your responsibilities in the dunya, because then you oppress people. You oppress yourself and you oppress other people. So you can't neglect those responsibilities. But you don't put those responsibilities of the dunya at the absolute forefront, where this is all I'm focusing on. No, it doesn't work that way. So most of the people we encounter today do not take their lives serious because of fun and games. They live only to be entertained. They have no goals, no passion, no drive, no direction, nothing. And this is a good homework for you guys. Go home. Well, not you, obviously, but all right, go home or go to like a family member, or go just ask random people that you know. Just ask them. So, what are your goals for this year? What have you written down? Have you written down goals for this year? Have you planned anything for this year? What are you working for? What do you think? What are you trying to do with your life? What are you trying to achieve with your life? Ask the people these questions. It'd be nice. Go around and just ask different family members these questions and see the responses that you get. But just from off the top of your head, what do you think you're gonna get?
Anything about work and
no, but if you ask them what goals have you written down, do you think they're gonna say, "Oh, I sat down with my notebook last night and I was writing down my goals for the rest of the year, and do you think they're gonna say this? They're gonna say, "Write down goals. Why would I do that?" And then if the people do tell you their goals, what are they going to tell you? Oh, I just want to have more money. I want to be more comfortable. I want to, these general things. So, that means that they don't have goals. Because if a person really, really knows what they want with their lives, they're going to be very, very what? Specific. They'll be very, very, very specific.
Specific.
No, man, Hamza's not here, so it's not Pacific. Specific. Don't tell me you think that it's supposed to be Pacific. Okay, you're joking, right? All right. But Hamza's not here. Hamza's the Pacific person. I'm the Atlantic. All right, we're from Florida. All right, so and that's how you know. You know, because they don't have any, and when you start asking them like, okay, so what are you doing now to achieve this goal of having more money? He's working the same job that he's probably been working for the last 2-3 years. And the only time that he probably gets a raise is just because the government makes him give him, or something like the increase in the minimum wage or something like this might be, or just a little small increment of maybe 25-cent raise here and there, 35 cents. That's it. But I mean, nothing. So he's still stuck in this. So he basically has no goals, has no passion. There's nothing that he wakes up and he's ready to get the day started to do. And in fact, he wakes up every single day, the average person, like, oh my God, I gotta go to work. Oh my God. And now he's hating all the things that he has to do. And he never gets a chance to actually fulfill the things that he wants to do. So because he has no goals. So if you don't have any goals, what's the saying? If you don't have goals, then you spend your whole life, what? Working to achieve the goals of somebody else. Because that person who has goals is going to exploit the fact that you don't, and he's going to use you so he can fulfill his goals. When you go get a job at Amazon, at Walmart, or whatever, or you get a job even as a professional, you're working for a company. And the people that own that place, they got goals. They got things that they're setting out to achieve. Your goal is just to get that paycheck every week, or 2 weeks, or whatever. That's your goal. To get that paycheck, go enjoy yourself, pay the bills. But those guys, the billionaires, they're the ones that got the real goals. They're the ones that have set out the real plan to achieve what they wanted to achieve. So just like they do that with their dunya, and we should be doing the same thing with our akhirah. And the akhirah ain't just going to come to you by accident. It's work. It's something that you work towards. It's something that you plan for. It's something that you have to set the time aside, and you got to organize your time, and you got to set goals, and you have to plan for that. It's not just going to come by coincidence or by accident. You might do something, you might do something that's good, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards you with that and gives you Jannah. It could happen. But the thing is we don't know. So what we need to do is we got to plan. And we got to try to set success in the akhirah as our goal. To try to get to that success in the akhirah. And we need to go, we read through the Quran, we read through the Sunnah, we read through the lives of the Salaf to understand what it is that we have to do to get those things achieved. And honestly, we're not doing any of that stuff, really. So long as time. So they have no goals, no passion, no drive, no direction, nothing. A person that lives his life only to be entertained is a fool. We all know that we are going to die, and we have been ordered by the greatest of creation, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to constantly remind ourselves of this reality. And Abi Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu قال Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam أكثروا ذكر هادم اللذات يعني الموت. So in this hadith, and Abi Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam he said, remember, constantly remember the destroyer of all your pleasures. And he said, the destroyer of all your pleasures is what? It's death. It's maut. All right. We also know of the statement of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in which he informed us of the reality of the situation we face when he said, and Anas radhiyallahu anhu قال خطبنا. Oh, this is from the khutbah Friday. This narration right here. عن أنس رضي الله عنه قال خطبنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خطبة ما سمعت مثلها قط فقال لو تعلمون ما أعلم لضحكتم قليلا ولبكيتم كثيرا فغطى أصحاب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وجوههم ولهم خنين. So this hadith in Bukhari and Muslim reported in Anas, where he reported that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gave us a very strong sermon. He said the likes of which I have not ever heard. He said I never heard him give a sermon or preach in this manner. He said, and then the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you know what I know, and again, what does he know? What is he talking about? what comes after this, like you know what's going on in your life in the world, but if you know what he said, if you know what I know about what's coming, what's coming after this, after death, you know, with the grave, with the Yom al-Qiyamah, with the Nar, and all these types of, Sirat, and all these different tests and trials that we're going to have to go through on the Day of Judgment. He said, if you know what I know, he said you would be laughing little and you would be crying a lot. And upon saying that, the Sahaba, his companions, they all covered up their faces, and then you could hear this sobbing, like this is khaneen. Like you could hear this, like the sound of crying and sobbing, as everybody in the masjid had started to cry when the Prophet ﷺ said this. All right, so this life is not a joke, and nobody should see it as a joke. Being that it is not a joke, we should be serious in the manner that we live our lives. Because the only time that you're not serious is when you think something is what? When you think something's a joke, right? If you knew that this was serious, like right now, a guy comes up to you and puts a gun to your head and tells you, man, if you don't give me all your money in 3 seconds, I'm gonna kill you. Are you gonna be sitting there like this? Okay, I'll give you. Well, how much? You want all my money, or you want some of it? Like, if you really know that this guy's about to kill you, would you be laughing? Because you know that what? You know this is serious. You know, like right now that your life and death right now, you know, you're like face to face now with like the ending of your existence, right? You might give him your money and he still might kill you. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know. You don't know what's about to happen. Now you're in that state of like what? You know, like what do you call it? Uncertainty now. You don't know if you're even going to live to make it home to your family now. You're not going to be laughing, right? But to see, that's the whole thing, that we live with that every single day. When we walk out of our houses, when we go to sleep at night. When we go to sleep at night, then we know, can we honestly sit there and say 100% sure we're going to wake up and see the morning? So what did Abdullah ibn Umar say? What was the hadith? Sayyid radiyallahu anhuma. He said, أخذ رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بمنكبي فقال. He grabbed me by my shoulder and he said what? كن في الدنيا كأنك غريب أو عابر السبيل. All right, he said, be in the life of this world like you are a stranger, you know, or عابر السبيل. عابر السبيل what? عابر السبيل, that you're just passing through. You know, you're not coming here to take up residence. You're just what? You're just rolling on. You know, so you're just getting what you got to get and go. He said, then after that, Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu anhu said, he said, وَإِذَا أَمْسَيْتَ فَلَا تَنْتَظِرِ الصَّبَاحِ وَإِذَا أَصْبَحْتَ فَلَا تَنْتَظِرِ الْمَسَاءِ وَخُذْ مِنْ صِحَّتِكَ لِمَرْضِكَ وَمِنْ حَيَاتِكَ لِمَوْتِكَ. So he said, if you live to see the evening, don't expect to be alive to see the morning. And if you live to see the morning, then don't expect to be alive to see the evening. And take from your health the fact that, you know, one day you're not going to have your health. So take the time that you have the health to do what? To do those righteous deeds, to do the acts that are pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because one day that health is going to be taken away from you and you're not going to be able to do those things anymore. You know, or you might be able to do them, but you won't be able to do them in the manner you can do them now. Like now you can stand up at night and pray. You can fast during the day. You can read the Quran throughout the day. But what happens now if you get really, really sick and you're in the hospital, terminally ill, and you're just like, you can't do those things anymore. So he said, take this time that you have what? That you have your health, to know that that sickness is coming, so you prepare for that and do what all, you know, try to put into work now, and take from the fact that you have life now, and that, you know, that death is going to come. And obviously death is the ending of all actions. That's when all your actions are cut off except for what? Except for 3 things. What did the Prophet ﷺ mention? He said, إِذَا مَاتَ ابْنُ آدَمَ انْقَطَعَ عَمَلُهُ إِلَّا مِنْ ثَلَاثٍ صَدَقَةٌ جَارِيَةٌ وَإِيش وَعِلْمٌ يُنْتَفَعُ بِهِ وَوَلَدٌ صَالِحٌ يَدْعُو لَهُ. So those 3 things the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that will continue to benefit a person after his death. He says, Sadaqatun Jariyah, which is a charity that the people continue to benefit from after his death. So let's say that he built a masjid and he put in that masjid like a big library, an Islamic library, and he, you know, and the people are teaching the deen in that masjid, and they're doing research and they're writing books from the library that he put there. So he's going to continue to benefit because the people are continuing to benefit from what he left for the people. So he continues to get the reward in the grave. And he said after that, he said, وَعِلْمٌ يُنْتَفَعُ بِهِ, or knowledge that the people benefit from. And then he said after that, he said, وَوَلَدٌ صَالِحٌ يَدَعُ لَهُ, or a righteous son that continues to make dua for him, that continues to make dua for him after his death. So that's it. These are the things. If you want to struggle for something, to establish something in the dunya, establish one or all of these three things. You can establish sadaqatun jariyah. You can establish something like this where you can start a masjid, and that masjid keeps going even after your death. And you can go out and seek knowledge and get knowledge and come back and teach the people where the people benefit from that. And you can also, by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, have a righteous son. You take your children and you try to teach them the deen, and they grow up with the deen and they're righteous and they continue to make dua for you after your death. So, Allah musta'an. So this life is not a joke, and nobody should see it as a joke. Being that it is not a joke, we should be serious in the manner that we live our lives. Death is lying in wait for each one of us, and we do not know when our time is going to come. Ibn al-Wardi, which is a poem, inshallah, that we will eventually, bi'ithnillahi ta'ala, we will go over this poem, inshallah. We really want to go over this poem. Ibn al-Wardi wrote in a poem advising his son the following lines of poetry. He said, قصر الآمال في الدنيا تفوز فدليل العقل تقصير الأمل إن من يطلبه الموت على غرة منه جدير بالوجل. So he said, reduce your wishes and hopes, like all your hopes for the future. Oh, when I get money, I'm going to do this, or when I get older, I'm going to do this. He said, no. He said, reduce all those hopes and wishes, because you prepare for death like it can come to you at any moment. So you're not thinking about the future and what you want to do then. You're thinking about, what do I need to get done today? What do I got to get done? You make plans and goals for the future, but you focus on the actions of what you need to get done today. So he said, reduce your wishes and hopes for the future, and you will succeed. This is going to bring you success. The evidence of a sound mind, the aql, is what? Is the reduction of wishes and hopes. Because a person who has a sound mind, he doesn't think that he's going to live to see that. So he said, I got to get this done now. I need to get this knowledge now. I need to, but the person who doesn't have the sound mind, what does he think? I'll do it tomorrow. Oh man, no. Let me just enjoy the rest of this week. And what? We'll start on Saturday. Or we'll get it going on, he keeps postponing and procrastinating. That's the person that doesn't have a sound mind. But the person who takes it serious, as soon as it comes to his mind, he might be trying to sleep. But what does he know? We got to start right now. We're not even going to wait till tomorrow. We're going to start what? Right now. Just like that man that killed the 99 men. What did he say? He said, okay, I'll go home and eat dinner, and then I'll leave tomorrow. What did he do? He left right away. When the man told him that this is how you make Tawbah, there's a land where the people worship Allah, he said, go to that land. He didn't go home and say, okay, I'm going to chill out for the night, get some rest. He set out on the path, and he died in that path. So that's the person who has a real mind, that's really serious about making Tawbah. So he said after that, the one that knows that death is seeking him out to overtake him suddenly has every right to live in complete fear. You have every right to live in complete fear, and you have no right to live comfortably. If you know that death is like lurking around the corner, everywhere that you go, that you know that the only, that there's going to be one day that these angels on your, on the sides of you, they're not going to protect you, and death's going to come, like whatever, that car is going to hit you or something, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, commanded to stand down, and then that's when, whatever's about to happen to you is going to happen to you, and you can't stop it. You can't stop it. So if you know this, then that means that, it's something to be taken serious. You have no right to be enjoying and thinking that, I'm comfortable. No, you're not comfortable, because you don't know when that's coming. So he said so this is not a joke. Go ahead, Qadi. This is not a joke. We should live our lives with this reality that death can come upon us when we least expect it. How many people do we know that walked out of their houses and never returned to them? They woke up in the grave. May Allah make us firm. We should never be attached to the life of this world to the point that we have these dreams of the future. Our preparation should be a preparation for death. We see this in the following hadith and Ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma qala akhadha Rasulullah. Okay, so I already went over this hadith. But I'll go ahead and read it anyways, but this is the one that we just took. عن ابن عمر قال أخذ رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بمنقبي وقال كن في الدنيا كأنك غريب عابر سبيل وكان ابن عمر رضي الله عنهما يقول إذا أمسيت فلا تنتظر الصباح وإذا استبحت فلا تنتظر المساء وخذ من صحتك لمرضك ومن حياتك لموتك. ها؟
مشكلة النساء أمام.
إيش؟
مشكلة النساء أمام يعني ما أدري إيش يجون هنا.
They're taking pictures of the masjid. Yeah. On the authority of Abdullah ibn Umar, who said, and this is the hadith that we just went over, where the Prophet ﷺ took him by the shoulder and said, you know, being the life of this world, just like a stranger or a person who's just passing through. And if you live to see the night, don't expect to see the morning. And if you live to see the morning, don't expect to see the night. So I mean, that's it. I mean, I think that's clear, inshallah. You know, this is something that we have to take serious. You know, and the seriousness that comes with action. People say, oh no, I'll take this serious, but he's at home watching football right now. Or he's out hanging out with friends all the time. He's not in the masjid. So how's he taking it serious? So Allah musta'an. وإلهنا سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.